Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Astral Tourist. I am broadcasting today from Italy. My channel is on a break because I did not know if I would have any time to record anything while I'm out traveling about. So as the Astral Tourist, I also am an actual tourist once in a while in the world. I am originally from the USA. For those that don't know, I'm traveling with my significant other who travels for work, and I'm, just his plus one. So anyway, in Italy, I'm kind of tired of Italy, to be honest with you all, and the crowds and the pickpockets and everything. But this channel is about astral projection, so I'm going to talk some about that. So just as a background a little bit, I have many videos already talking about myself, how I got into astral projection. So for today, what I'm talking about is astral projection while traveling, and in this case, while in Italy. And I have some other sharings on the channel where I astral projected in Rome with great success, but not this time. Right now I'm in Florence, but for Rome, oh my gosh. So we were only in Rome for a few days this time, and the beds were tiny in this place my significant other booked. I was heat exhausted, travel exhausted. Our flights got delayed by a whole day. We had to go to a different airport to even get out of the country because of weather. So, I mean, in a way that's good, right? Yeah, you don't want to pass on or take chances you don't have to. So if the planes were grounded, there's a reason for that. But it resulted in me becoming extremely tired and exhausted. And here in Italy, the weather is really hot in the 90s and 100s. There are heat warnings. So just a little tip. If you have not astral projected, you can use sleep disturbances like jet lag and such to try and get out. Your projections will not last long because you won't have a lot of energy. But just like mixing things up like that and trying while you're in that kind of a weird state can actually be helpful for those who have not had success yet. For those who have, of course, you want to be well rested. So now getting on to the projections I've actually had while I'm here. I did not have any astral projections on the plane. I was awake except for small moments. I had like these micro sleep moments where my head pops down and back up and stuff. So once in Rome, the room, like I was saying, had tiny beds, and I kept worrying about rolling on out of one because I move around a bit in my sleep. And so I would be sitting on the floor in an astral projection. I spontaneously astral project if you're just tuning in. Sometimes I do it, often I do it on purpose too, but in this case, I was spontaneously astral projecting, and I kept finding myself on the floor. And it felt so real, and I was, wondering if I fell out of bed and why didn't it hurt. So, the pain wasn't there, the aching from travel, all the muscle aches, my back pain, it was gone, and I was just sitting on the floor there in the astral. And I looked back at the bed and my body was not in it, and that's pretty common for me. Sometimes I'll see my sleeping body, my sleeping physical one, and other times I will not. So I knew that wasn't really an accurate test, but I pretty much knew I was astral projecting. And so that would happen numerous times. Sometimes I would astral project across the room and then get pulled back. And remember, these are spontaneous ones, and normally I can control things much better. But because of the sleep deprivation, for 2 and 3 days at a time, and I lose control a bit, and I'm kind of just on automatic subconsciously too. So in one of them in Rome, though, except for just landing on the floor or across the room, I noticed my significant other's astral body was not in bed. So I went wandering around the hotel, and I found him downstairs in like a really comfortable chair, just snoozing away. He's a deep sleeper. and he doesn't really believe in astral projection, but I find him out there when I'm out. So I hope the video and the audio is okay here. Again, I'm just doing this from my iPad, so most of my other recordings, I do from home, and they're better. And can you tell I'm still a little bit sleep lagged here? So anyway, he looked really good and fine in his usual deep sleep, only out in the astral, so I didn't worry about him. And of course, I got pulled back. I'm trying to think if anything else happened in Rome this time. Again, last year's was way better. I got a futuristic version of Rome and flying cars and all of that. It wasn't meant to be this time, though. I was just, surviving. So, yeah. And now we're in Florence. It happened again where I was just like landing on the floor. But in this one, I'm pretty sure I landed in the Duomo. So this time, my projections, although autonomous, seemed more longer. And so I knew I was like getting a little more sleep, even though I'm still feeling pretty bad and terrible. But this one was in this glowing white room. There was this nun giving a talk. The pews were just a nice light-colored wooden, and I did a 360. I remembered to do the 360 where you can look at yourself all the way around like a panoramic, and I knew not to get too fancy and try to see the whole city or anything like that. So I just kind of buzzed around the room with my 360 and wanted to see myself, and I saw I was carrying this huge broom, huge glowing broom. So sometimes in the astral, I'm carrying a large sword, a gleaming one, or a broom, and I'm flying on it, all witch style, kind of witchy. So in this case, I don't know if that's what it was for, because I don't have the memories. And I decided to back out of the room really slowly so I wouldn't disturb whatever was going on there. I couldn't hear anything they were saying in any language. I was pretty much deaf at the time during that astral projection. So I backed out of the room with my huge broom. And I don't remember what happened after I got out of the room, but pretty soon after that I got pulled back to my physical body. So, yeah. And last night I had a couple times I landed on the floor again when I wasn't really trying to astral project because I know I'm still tired and heat exhausted. But I had spontaneously astral projected somewhere here in Florence. I know I didn't make it that far. And I was inside a building, and this one man who was like cleaning up the place in the astral was helping me, like, as far as I kept asking him about where the windows and the doors were because it's easier for me to get out and fly. I mean, I'm feeling a little better. So last night I really wanted to like get the lay of the land and like kind of at least fly over Florence in the astral. And there were these windows, but they were small, and I have great success at changing sizes in the astral most of the time, but it wasn't working for me. My hips kept getting stuck in these tiny windows. And I knew I could like shapeshift and stuff, but it just wasn't working for me. And so eventually we just got chatting, him and I, in a hallway, and he wanted to know about Kundalini. So I gave him some Kundalini instruction, very Zen style. Like just it's about controlling your energy, not necessarily having any kind of a romantic interaction. I don't really want to get into it too much right now, but I helped him a little bit with some tips, and I will leave it at that. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope I'll have more to share another time. I don't know. I should be back to the regular podcasts after August 15th, depending on how the travel goes and how much more rest I'll need. I'm hoping as the trip continues and I get more sleep that I'll have more interesting astral projections to share. So lots of love around the world, everybody. Yeah, lots of love and happy astral travels.